Welcome back to Overwatch Apex Season 2 with Doa and Monte Cristo, and this is the best of 5 we've been waiting for, man. KongDoo Panthera versus Runaway, and both of these teams, I would say, are two of the teams to show the most improvement coming into this season out of a lot of the teams we've got here.
Yeah, unfortunately for the likes of Fnatic, who is also in their group, that is a true story. I think it is unlikely that that team will be making it out of the group stage at this point, but these two teams will be battling for what is probably going to be the first place in Group D, and they have both been pretty impressive.
Well, both teams are 1-0 in match score right now, 3-0 in game score. They're tied for first place in Group D. And, of course, KongDoo Panthera 3-0ing Fnatic in their first match of the season. And, you know, to be fair to Fnatic, too, this was a Fnatic that had just come in. They hadn't had a lot of practice yet. They were dealing with a bit of jet lag probably. But more than anything, Rascal's Farah, just they seem to have no answer to this guy. And you got to think that Runaway, a big part of their practice has got to be preparing for Rascal.
Well, yeah, I do think, however, that the way that Rascal sort of outskilled the collective members of Fnatic is not going to happen. I don't think they're going to be able to win in the same fashion against Runaway, given the wealth of talent that they have in terms of their own DPS players.
Right.
But, you know, based on what we've seen from KongDoo Panthera that loves to run very heavy triple tank compositions. Of course, Evermore, probably many of you know him as the top player in the global ladder with a perfect 5,000 point rating.
Although, you know, I want to put an asterisk on that now because the guy's only played like 9 hours of ranked play this season now.
Yes,
so
but it is impressive that he was even... Of course he does. Yes, he must have a Smurf. But it is impressive that he was even able to set a win rate to get him up that high. Right. True. We've seen this guy, particularly on Roadhog, his main hero, in solo queue, hit win rates of 88+%,
well,
which is
44.
insane.
He's 44-1 right now on Roadhog. It's 96% for his hero on the ladder right now. And you know, as good as he is on Roadhog, the cool thing to see with Evermore this season is that he's taken that great individual play and he's converted it into some really, really good team play. And that's more than anything, I think, what KongDoo Panthera brings in as far as strength goes this season is that they had the individual play last season and now they're starting to sort of get that team cohesion together, and it's really showing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they've got a lot of really young talent that had to learn how to communicate and play on a professional team. So Rascal and Evermore, two guys that are really come into their own. I am a bit worried about KongDoo on this patch because Panthera, we saw a lot of D.Va from Waka Waka. D.Va's still viable, but we're going to take a look at some of the teams first.
진출이 가능한 러너웨이 그리고 에이펙스에서 승리하는 모습으로 대미를 장식하고 싶은 콩두 판테라.
러너웨이 팀은 한 번 이긴 팀이라 한 번 더 이길 수 있다고 생각합니다.
콩두 판테라가 3대0 승리.
이쪽의 미를 거뒀고요. 진짜 아쉽겠네요, 러너웨이.
그렇습니다.
시즌 1 때 앙금이 팀에 있으면 시즌 2 때는 저희가 만들어주면 되겠죠?
러너웨이 팀이 듣기로 겐트를 굉장히 잘 쓰는 팀이라고 많이 들어서 아마 그거를 잘 대처할 수 있는 픽을 연구하고 연습하는 시간이 될 것 같아요.
제일 신경 쓰이는 선수 딱히 말하면 없지만 굳이 꼽자면 와카와카 선수? 시즌 1 때 파라로 저희 팀을 많이 때리셨더라고요.
러너웨이 팀의 모든 꿈과 희망을 앗아간 선수는 와카와카 선수예요.
네.
그래서 많이 때려주려고요. 눈 마주치면 2초 안에 죽을 거예요.
폭스 선수가 영웅폭이 굉장히 넓어서 저희가 좀 조합을 많이 연습하더라도 그쪽에서도 많이 대응을 할 수 있을 것 같아서 까다로운 선수이지 않을까 싶습니다.
와카와카 선수는 올라운더여도 특별한 게 하나쯤은 있어야 되거든요. 근데 없어요. 특별한 게 없어요.
승강전 얘기를 꺼내야 합니까? 아주 착해서 그런 것 같아요.
때문에
이거지요.
영모로 전에 에버모로도 그렇고.
에버모 선수가 겐지를 굉장히 호구로 잘 끌어서 흑살 선수도 에버한테 맡기면은 파괴하기 쉬운 팀이 되지 않을까 싶습니다.
강점, 랭킹 1등이 있는 호그 팀이다. 약점, 그것 빼고 없다. 트레이서 그냥 모든 호그를 다 잡기 쉽다고 생각해요. 반격 하나만 주면 킬을 낼 거라고 생각해요.
3대1로 저희가 승리하지 않을까.
저희 팀이 당했던 것보다 배로 당하게 해줘야겠죠.
Oh man, do I detect a new esports rivalry in the making?
That's pretty good.
I love it, man. These teams having some choice words for each other, and this is going to be a choice best of 5, absolutely. And
I like how Cox is getting in on the trash talking, even though he wasn't part of the team when they lost to KongDoo Panthera. So
Yeah.
he's defending his teammates' honor there.
I like he's got that loyalty already. It's good to see. Well, there's KongDoo Panthera. We talked a lot about these guys already, especially about Evermore and Rascal. Now, Waka Waka, we saw him in the video there, but he played 82% of his first match on Diva, and there's been a patch change. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but Diva's not quite as strong as she used to be, so Waka Waka specifically is going to have to shake things up a little bit today, I think, with the hero selection.
Yeah, still viable, but not nearly as dominant as we saw previously.
Yeah, not 82% viable, most likely.
No, and that's going to be the question. Obviously, last season we saw some good stuff from him overall.
Yeah.
And-
absolutely.
And if you can go back to some of those more DPS-oriented heroes, this is a great time in which to do that, to complement Rascal, who went absolutely off the chain in their first match against Fnatic.
And there is Team Runaway, and we ran into some of these guys in the elevator a little bit earlier before the match. I asked them, are they going to win today? And they said, yeah, 3-0, easy, no problem. There's a lot of attitude on this team, and a lot of it's coming from their triple DPS threat of Cox, Hoxall, and Stitch. And these guys are so good, so versatile. I mean, Cox played 7 different heroes in the last match. 2 of those were less than a minute, so they don't really count, but that's still 5 different heroes that had meaningful playtime, which is huge for a player. Not to mention, all 3 DPS players played Zarya for at least 15% of their match. So that's a lot of versatility for these guys.
Absolutely, and Cox is really showing himself to be a potential star in the making. We look at the main heroes he was playing over the course of that 3-0. Remember, it's only 3 games.
Yeah.
Tracer, Zarya, Soldier 76, Roadhog, and Mei.
Yep.
And he looked very comfortable on each of the selections. It leads to Runaway having a pretty deep hero pool that can be difficult to counter. And KongDoo Panthera is going to have to come up with something comparable when they looked a little less flexible this season.
You know, that said, I think Runaway ended up with probably one of the easiest matches in their opening match. I mean, Flashlux looked, for lack of a better term, really, really, really bad.
Probably the worst team in this tournament.
Easily the most one-sided match we've seen so far in the tournament. And so, Runaway, are they really as good as they seem, or was that just a really easy match for them? I think that's a little bit of a question coming into this one, too. This is going to be the first real test for this team.
Absolutely. And as we take a look at this, important to note that Runaway's picks have been colored by the qualifiers. So that is not representative of their first game in Apex, but it does go to show, in addition to what we've already talked about, how deep these hero pool runs. Of course, Hoxall playing some Reaper, played a lot of Mei during the initial qualifier, and looked relatively competent. Of course, his Genji still far and away his best pick.
Oh yeah, looking better than ever on that pick, and even again, like we mentioned, fitting in some Zarya. There's Runaway, or Runner rather, of course, a popular streamer here in Korea. And also just barely good enough at Lucio to play in the tournament.
He did pretty well in the first match. We thought maybe because they have Coma and Bumper on the bench that they might be coming out. And Nepal, it'll be our first, I believe our first control map on Nepal this season.
It is actually our first Lijiang Tower, our first Nepal. So it's good to know. We're going to Nepal for our first match in this best of 5, our first map in this best of 5 between KongDoo Panthera and Runaway. The winner of this one takes first place in the group for now. It's a big one.
Absolutely is. Well, both these teams really going to have to turn it up compared to their last opponents.
Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, we didn't even mention Shine. This guy is just a god-tier Anna.
Yes.
Excellent sleep darts. Runaway is certainly one of the dark horse teams of the tournament. Let's see if they can keep galloping on as we go to our first map here. Let's go to Nepal. All Here we are. Welcome to Nepal. I'd like it if that elephant sprayed out confetti or something. If you did like the right thing, just like the basketball hoops, spray out confetti.
Oh, really?
We need more confetti in Overwatch. That's, what I'm
That's really the problem.
I don't think Overwatch has enough particle effects flying around. That's
More,
I really feel like it's lacking in that category.
I think most objects should spray confetti.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Bastion, whenever he changes into Sentry form, should just spray out confetti.
I also.
Uh-oh, it's pause time.
It'll also punish people who have lower-end PCs.
That's right. They should be punished, Monte Cristo.
Spam them with confetti. They drop frames.
That's right. Uh-oh. It's a problem with Cox.
It's always a bad time when you have a problem with Cox.
Yeah, that's it's not the kind of problem that Runaway wants to have. Oh, it's a monitor issue. Oh. Okay. Is Runaway Cox ready? That's the question. We got a whole season of this ahead of us, ladies and gentlemen.
It's exciting times.
That's right.
It's exciting times to be a caster here on OGN.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I mean,
we could get around it by just calling him KOX.
Yeah, but that takes too long. In a team fight, I'm not gonna shout KOX. I'm gonna shout Cox. Over and over again.
That's my favorite thing for you to shout, though. So works out for both of us.
That was supposed to stay between us.
I know you have an unbridled love for Cox.
Well, I mean, when he has such versatility, how can you not?
How can you
love
not?
Cox? Someone says they don't like Cox and they watch this show. I got a problem.
Well.
Oh, goodbye Hoxall, though. That's a statement from Evermore coming in with that hook on the Roadhog. And that's a statement from Rascal on the Cox.
Yeah, well, coming out strong here. KongDoo Panthera, crucial first pick. Waka Waka will be on the Zarya here for point number one.
Yeah.
Early pick really snowballs the fight. Not a whole hell of a lot to say.
It's the
right
hero
there.
He played besides D.Va, so no big shock there, but wow, what a start. Man.
A reset.
Yep.
Onto the point right here.
Stitch.
Rascal loses the duel, or wins
Stitch.
the duel rather. Stitch.
Yeah.
With the loss, and he was getting close to that pulse bomb. Both Tracers have it up right now. Cox is going to make a switch onto the Zarya.
Interesting. Okay. So here's that versatility. Going to throw Cox onto the Zarya for the moment. Somebody
I got nothing to follow that one up with.
I can't. Oh, it hurts. Rascal. Still shine. All right, well, that's a good start for Rascal, man.
Yeah, I guess the nano boost early on there.
Wow. All right. Well, KongDoo Panthera defending well. I may not survive this match, so.
That's okay.
Oh, okay. Cox has been eliminated.
At least we'll have a good time casting it. What can you say?
I guess so. Until the sensors arrive. All right, Hoxall with the reflect. He's got the Dragon Blade. KongDoo Panthera defending very far up right now. That's something that maybe Runaway can capitalize on. Nano Blade coming in. Hoxall going to try to turn things around right here, right now, but the sound barrier from KongDoo Panthera may stop that from happening. Evermore with the kill on the Kaiser, so KongDoo still holding. And looks like Rascal. Take a nap there for a moment. It's okay, nothing much is going on. Don't worry about it.
Hoxall eventually got Waka Waka, but two ultimates used right there, and the defense from KongDoo was just great. There was only one real target for him to go after. It was the Reinhardt to start that one off.
Fire
Beautiful
strike
fire
to
strike.
Cox.
Love
He
it.
did not make it.
Rascal doing wonderful work on the Tracer as well. He's consistently winning those duels, and we're looking at 100-0 here as Runaway really struggling to even get to the point.
Yeah, Kaiser coming up with Ear Shatter right now.
Got to make the most of this ult advantage.
Yeah, they need to nail this one for sure. Oh, he's going to take a nap. He's going to get woken up again. Okay, it was a short nap. There we go, Earth Shatter coming in. Oh, I don't think that really connected with anybody, though. KongDoo Panthera already getting some kills. Kaiser charging in onto Evermore, but has no health to follow it up with. And Runaway losing everybody. It looks like that's going to be about that. As Stitch, the only one standing on the point right now. OT ticking down. Can they make it back in time? Doesn't appear that way. And KongDoo Panthera will win a pretty decisive shrine round here on Nepal.
Well, Evermore was certainly ready for that Genji to come out, and that initial pick really got things rolling for KongDoo. And in a huge way. And then
Wow.
even after Haksal stuck with it for a little bit longer, couldn't get very good value out of the nano boosted Dragon Blade. As KongDoo Panthera just played very well as a team, they retreated as soon as they saw it happen. Great timing on their sound barrier. And we also saw Waka Waka just sitting back with his projected barriers ready to deflect most of that damage and nullifying a lot of the offensive strength that Runaway was looking for. Means Haksal is going to be on the Zarya this time as they are forced to make a change.
Okay. Yeah, swapping things up.
So Waka Waka going to be on the Reaper, which
That's
be a
interesting.
pretty interesting and solid selection against a triple tank setup here from Runaway.
I mean, we've seen him run the DPS once in a while in the past, but he's, more commonly a tank. Like you mentioned, though, could work out very well. Runaway immediately just jumping on the point. They want to take that defensive position as early as they possibly can. Stitch looping around the outside, but Cox already has a kill onto Luffy. Good start for Runaway here. Rascal, though, responds with a kill onto Runner. So kills back and forth so far. The duel, Evermore getting very low, and Stitch comes
nice
in
melee.
with the melee, yeah. Nice duel there, Stitch coming out on top.
And Waka Waka,
on
everybody
the
else
run.
has to run.
There we
really good play there from Shines on it. Gets the biotic grenade for the instant cleanup from the rest of the team.
Well, that was pretty much the opposite of everything we saw in the first round, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's a lot more difficult to pick off Runaway's composition, right? You're going to be brawling right up close and personal with the Tracer and the Reaper, and we do still have the duel here going on the point, but Stitch is going to win this one. He's actually got the E.
Oh, health. It's a real duel now. Rascal backing away. Very, very low. Stitch low as well, though. Gets a little bit of health from the recall. Still goes after. Meanwhile, Cox gets taken out. Waka Waka with the kill there. And Tracer jumps in front of Waka Waka. So Wraith form out of there. Oh, and Stitch finishes him off. Runaway really doing a good job holding the defense right now up to about 45%. On the control meter so far.
Trying to wait out that biotic grenade at the moment, make sure they can stay alive.
Yep.
Rascal gets caught by that fire strike, and
Nice
Stitch
fire strike.
they're there to change the targets onto Bling instantaneously. This has been some sort of brawl going on so far.
This is crazy. With as on fire KongDoo Panthera looked in round number 1 on Shrine, Runaway just looks equally dominant on Village here.
And there is a little bit of
Here we
relief
go.
coming in. Hawkstall's going to use Graviton Surge. That's an immediate pickup onto Evermore.
Oh yeah, that's right. And that's a nap being taken by Kaiser as well. Oxal going forward, Runaway just going to push them back again. Nice kill onto Waka Waka. We're up to near 80 control % right now for Runaway. And KongDoo Panthera really struggling. They've got nearly 5 ultimates. Rascal should have his soon. So this next push is a big one. They need to flip the point here. I think they're going to have a really hard time winning Village.
Yeah, they're definitely not going to win Village. Got to make this one work. Fisher setting up in the front line right now. They have that ult advantage. Ooh, they woke up Cox, though, immediately after sleep darting in. Bit of a mistake.
Yeah. Waka coming in. All right, they got the sound barrier. There's a Death Blossom. Pushed back by the
Very
whole hog,
nice.
though. Nullified by Cox completely. And Fissure gets the kill onto Kaiser. That said, Runaway winning this fight pretty handily here. KongDoo Panthera gets a little bit of percent on the control meter itself, but that is it. Runaway takes round 2, tied up on Nepal.
That was such a great nullification of the Beyblade.
Yeah.
Ready for that Reaper ultimate to come in. They hadn't seen it in a while. They hadn't seen the nano boost, but eliminating basically 2 ults just with the knockback and being able to refocus the rest of the whole hog onto the point. Got a lot of value there for Runaway, and we tie it up.
Well, I mean, this match is already delivering, and one only wonders what's going to happen here on Sanctum. One-sided towards KongDoo Panthera, then one-sided towards Runaway, and it all comes down to this on Nepal. Rascal lining it up. And... oh! So close! So close. But we're going to have to withdraw that contract for the NBA. I'm sorry, you have not qualified.
That's even funnier if you know what Rascal looks like. It was probably his only shot at getting an NBA contract.
He's got mad hops, I've heard. Sick vertical. Cox on the Roadhog.
Well, we've got
now
perfectly symmetrical compositions here. So with Kaiser's early death, of course, so many times here on Sanctum, it does come down to these Reinhardt shield battles as to who's going to break that shield first in order to take the first point.
Evermore low health, has to take a breather, but they're on the point. They do manage to take it first. So KongDoo Panthera Getting a little bit of early control percent building up. Runaway has to come back. Stitch does get the kill on the Rascal, though, so that may be the opening.
That's pretty crucial. That is a great hook.
Oh, big hook.
Wow, the timing on that as Waka Waka's shield was falling, but before he could get behind the Reinhardt shield was absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a nice cleanup there. So
Wow,
initial
Cox.
pick by Stitch, and then a very narrow timing window to get that Roadhog hook out. So Runaway retakes, and they only lost 17%, so they are sitting pretty right now, and they have attack visor to work with. Rascal close to getting his, however.
Yep, that's right. Panthera trying to come back, but they've got hit by a pretty big biotic grenade. Gonna have to wait that one out. Back in now. And here we go. The assault from KongDoo Panthera. Waka Waka coming in.
Another hook!
Big hook from Cox again. Gets a kill onto Evermore. There's a Graviton Surge for the follow-up. Fissure just takes a dive as KongDoo decides to reset. And Cox has just been really hitting these hooks.
I mean, that was smart of Fissure. You see the Graviton Surge come out. You see that you already lost a player to the hook. Do an environmental kill, and why not just charge out immediately? Don't let them get old charge on your big fat Reinhardt body while he's sitting in a Graviton Surge.
No, you don't want that.
Just go reset. They used a long cooldown ultimate on you instead, but they still are behind in the ult game, though they are working up to 6 very quickly.
All right, KongDoo Panthera back on the point again. They really have to watch out for Cox, so Stitch coming in with the sound barrier. He's got the tack visor as well. All right, sound barrier from KongDoo Panthera's side too, going to nullify a lot of that. No kills and Runaway very low across the board right now. Trying to fight back. They've got the kills to do it with, and that's going to be a goodbye Evermore. Nice biotic grenade to secure that kill. And Runaway all over this point, up to near 80 control percent already. Waka Waka looks like he's going to make it back to spawn, but just barely. And it looks like Runaway may actually take Nepal here after a pretty disastrous rounder on Shrine. Really coming back with a vengeance on the last 2 ones.
Yeah, KongDoo has to do something with these 2 CC ultimates that they have. They need to move forward now and get in the position, but with all that spam, it can be tough.
That's right. Okay, here comes the Graviton Surge. Okay, it's a pretty good one. They've
Sleep
got
Dart.
4. Sleep Dart went in, but the Reinhardt shield is up anyway. Now, Earth Shatter comes in. Cox does take out Fissure. Kills on each side, though, and KongDoo Panthera on the point for the moment. Evermore in a little bit of trouble here. 2 kills for Rascal. And Cox is going to drop Evermore off the edge again, I think.
Yeah.
They do flip it, though.
That was so close because Shine hit the Sleep Dart onto Fissure at the front line when he still hadn't used his Earth Shatter yet. So there was no combo from that Graviton Surge made it. So Runaway had a fighting chance.
Rascal, rather Kaiser really low. Got hit with that biotic grenade. Had to be careful on that Reinhardt. Oxall going in looking for the Graviton Surge. He throws it. They've got a few. Meanwhile, Stitch with the nano boost. Evermore not surviving long enough to really put that whole hog to good use. Tack visors on both sides, but Stitch has the nano boost as well. Gets one onto Evermore. Runaway trying to re-secure the point up to 50% now for KongDoo Panthera. The Runaway is going to be pushed back for the moment.
Yeah, they're just buying time right now, just flooding into the room on the choke point on the side of Runaway. So not very good value there. KongDoo Panthera are going to be looking at another Graviton Surge and an opportunity to have 5 ultimates up right now. KongDoo in a very good position to actually finish off this point on Sanctum.
Yep. It's been really back and forth. But KongDoo Panthera has the point pretty secured for the moment. Runaway with a big push. There's a whole hog. They're going to just try to push KongDoo back away, but there's a Graviton Surge coming in. Shields for both sides. Where's the follow-up here? Oh, Kaiser goes down immediately as Rascal unloads with that tack visor. Cox just trying to survive on the point right now, but Fizz just going to say no to Cox. And KongDoo Panthera is going to hold the point. Yet again, they might take this one. In fact, they will.
Yeah, just going to try and get up there, prevent anybody from having any time to get back to that point. And a great finish there. Good control over the ultimates by KongDoo Panthera on a very back and forth point.
Yeah.
Sound barrier really clutch there in the end to survive the Graviton Surge Earth Shatter combo that they were subjected to.
Whew. That was a pretty intense control match, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was great.
Well, a lot to look forward to in this best of 5, I think. And as we saw on those various points on Nepal, this one's really probably going to be pretty back and forth.
Yeah, but I think KongDoo having an answer to Huxall's Genji and being able to shut it down really does limit Runaway's ability to utilize their biggest strengths.
Yeah.
So with that, with that neutralized, it does take a lot of the threat away from Runaway that they've had against teams where Haksal can just go on a rampage on the Genji.
That's the idea. Kaiser not looking too happy there, but it's a best of 5, man. There's a lot of maps coming up yet. We'll see what Runaway decides to go with for their hybrid map. Hollywood, Nimbani, Kings Row are the choices. And it's going to be Nimbani. Okay, interesting choice.
I'm actually surprised. Most pro teams generally prefer Hollywood and Kings Row.
It is a map you can play a very divey, aggressive sort of offense on, so in that sense I can see why Runaway would like it.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely true. It's also, I think, the map that is most likely to be full held.
Sure.
So it can be very difficult to crack that first point on Nimbani compared to the other 2 hybrid maps in this week's pool.
So Ken, so I'm curious to see, when KongDoo is on defense, how they're going to approach that too, because you kind of probably know how Runaway is going to attack you. So what's the plan going to be?
Well, I think they've got a pretty strong soldier player in Rascal, easy to play triple tank and soldier.
All right, we will find out. Time to go to Nimbani and see if Runaway can tie things up again with their map choice, or if KongDoo Panthera takes a 2-0 lead. Welcome to Nimbani. Relax and unwind with the legendary organic oil. I don't know about that.
Is there non-organic oil?
I would think by 2030 all the robots would be solar powered.
Well, but
Or is this oil only for
oil's their
lubrication?
That's right.
Ah.
Oil's their guilty pleasure, like a glass of scotch at night.
That's what it looks like, I guess. Where does that robot pour the oil into exactly? I mean, looking at his face, where does that go?
Maybe they just rub it all over themselves.
That could be. He just pours it on his head, rubs his hands all over his body. Bling on the Torbjorn, perhaps. Okay. That looks like they're going to stick with it. Okay, so Torbjorn defense are going to go 2 healers here.
Okay, so worth noting, KongDoo Panthera has run Bling on Mei in Eichenwald defense when they played in their last match with actually only a single healer. So interesting stuff that we're seeing. And yeah, they did something very similar during Eichenwald. They do like to run very stout, tanky defenses with 1 support.
Yeah.
On these hybrid maps, so I guess I'm not too surprised to see that.
And where will they approach? Okay, looks like they might be going 2nd floor. Yeah, going that way.
No, it was a
Pretty
fake.
normal comp. Yeah, they are actually going through the low ground.
You almost never see this, but you are going to see it today, and that's going to lead them right into the Torbjorn turret, but also an easy spot to get Maywall.
Yeah, great Maywall by Rascal. Kills coming in already for KongDoo Panthera. Kaiser going to dive in anyway, but he finds himself short-handed. Fissure grabs a couple, and that's an easy defense. Nice pick onto Haksal at the end, and that was pretty much stuffed.
Yeah, good read. It was a little bit tricky right there. They did a little bit of a fake, made it look like they were not going to be going underneath. But that is also why you do not see teams going underneath very much. Very little room in that tiny, tiny passage.
Well, it's interesting because Runaway didn't go for that divey sort of comp that we thought they might be going for. And it looks like they are swapping now. Yeah, yes. Kaiser on the Winston, Coxlorver on the Diva, and Haksal switching to Genji. So they swap things up completely. Fissure comes in with the nano boost, though, for the defense. And
Goodbye.
Yeah, that's a problem for Runner. Goodbye. And KongDoo Panthera should have another easy hold here. Certainly looking that way. Nobody able to touch Fissure. He's going to finish off Stitch to end things out. And that was probably play of the game for Winston.
Yeah,
GG.
Getting the early nano boost as
very
part
early.
of this. Runaway, they want to use this dive composition, but it is difficult against the amount of tankiness that KongDoo has, as well as this turret.
Yeah.
A little bit surprised. You look at KongDoo's composition, and you think, well, maybe it might be time for a Reaper right here, just to try and break through this front line on a slower approach with a Reinhardt through the upper floor, but I guess we're not going to see that right now, as Haksal will be spamming with some shurikens from very far away.
Yeah, Haksal coming in now. They're going to send Cox onto the high ground to try to dislodge KongDoo Panthera. Oxel gets a kill onto Rascal. That's big to get the May out of the way now. Molten Core coming in though for Bling. You're gonna have to survive that one, and it is pretty tough to sometimes. Evermore, meanwhile, down on the low ground, holding things. Bling just gonna fire down the hallway. Ooh, man, that dirty, dirty Torbjorn. Oh, gives me nightmares seeing stuff like that.
The blind shot.
They say Junkrat's spamming.
Well, another shutdown approach there, but a lot of this has been Runaway waiting for their ultimates to come up. Shine nearly with the nano boost right now, has several solid targets for which to ult. However, the stalling potential for KongDoo with both a Blizzard and a self-destruct is pretty massive, so they need to desuit this D.Va and kill the Mei before they actually start taking this point.
Oh, they're just going to send the explosion in immediately right off the bat. Runaway diving in. Hoxall gets 2 already. He's got the Nano Blade out, and he is putting it to work. There's 3. Crushing fight for Runaway on the back of Hoxall's Genji. Goodbye, Luffy. And that should do it. Man, Waka Waka desuited. And the only one left, Rascal with the Mei. Fissure's still there, though. They lost a couple.
Yeah, Fissure gets a kill, and the Icicle.
Then. Wow, I thought that was going to go very differently from how it began.
Yeah, Hoxall did end up finishing Fissure off, but man, I was so scared for a minute because KongDoo looked over-aggressive. They were trying to stop the advance from the street there with the self-destruct, and they threw out the Blizzard on the second level very early on.
Oh dear.
Definitely the Pharah, a good answer to this, can take out that turret from distance very easily, and there isn't really anybody who is going to do reliable damage to a Pharah on the side of KongDoo.
Nice dodge on the hook there. Hoxall coming in, going after Evermore. Easy kill in the 1v1. Now he goes after the supports. And is a bit vulnerable. I think he reflected the biotic grenade there, maybe. Yeah. Luffy goes down. Shine gets the kill there. Hoxall very low himself. Needs to be careful, but Rascal finishes him off. Meanwhile, more kills coming in for Bling, and the rest. Fissure with that Primal Rage running out. He's going to take a nap. But I don't think Shine's going to last too long, and it looks like it will be a full hold for KongDoo Panthera. Runaway not getting a single point here.
Wow, and Bling actually picked up that kill on Pharah with the turret despite not even having his ultimate available.
Yeah.
And they weren't able to target it down quickly enough.
Well,
Man.
Great start for KongDoo Panthera. You know, Runaway, a lot of individual skill, but I gotta say right there, not able to put it together in any sort of meaningful way.
I think they were overreaching. Against that composition, running the Genji and the Tracer can be difficult. There's a lot of ways that can be shut down. The Mei can go into Ice Block, you can get walled off, take a breather with the Roadhog, or if the Molten Core is up. Of course, it's even harder to get picks when Torbjorn lives for that long and is just chucking out armor packs left and right.
Absolutely.
So, I don't know. I think maybe it would have been wise to switch to that Pharah a little bit sooner because they didn't have any range. Pharah does free damage against that composition. If you can soften somebody up, that's where you really want to be before you go in. And they're pretty insistent on running that same composition pretty late into that round. See if they have a good defense here. Remember, Runaway selected this map and they just got full held. So
it was odd because they didn't play their typical style initially. They went for more of a standard sort of push. They went for a weird angle with it.
They were trying to be tricky, you know.
It's I guess, but I feel like you do what works. You know?
I mean, it was a mind game, right? You don't if you are KongDoo and you see that they have a Winston, you do not expect them to six-man go under, right?
Sure.
Now, they read it very well. The wall came down instantly. They weren't fooled. But you can understand really what they were trying to do right there was just get the element of surprise. And they, to their credit, they switched off it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So Runaway going to be going with a very standard defense here. Triple tank plus the soldier, lots of protection for the soldier on the high ground, and Waka Waka going to be making a return, looks like, onto the Pharah.
Okay.
And Rascal will be on the Hanzo.
Nice. All right, so a little bit of a unique composition, a lot of long-range damage coming in for KongDoo Panthera. Rascal simply looking for some people on the high ground here. Here comes the second place push. Oh, wow, actually the hook a little bit early didn't hit anybody. Rascal coming in, that's a lot of damage. Biotic grenade in a good place here for KongDoo Panthera. Waka Waka with a kill already. A couple coming in for KongDoo Panthera, and this is a great push already. Rascal looks for another, he finds another. What a crushing victory. There's a team kill, and all they lost was Evermore.
So,
man, I thought this one was going to be close.
That's one of those times, Noah, where you just really don't want to hit as, try to make that play as Roadhog.
Jeez.
So, what happened there is if you see that hook go, you have 6 seconds to move onto the high ground without having any real pick potential from the enemy team whatsoever.
Yeah.
So instantly, as soon as they saw that hook go out, you're almost never going to hit that hook against a competent Reinhardt who will have his shield up by the time he hits that corner regardless. And so when that hook goes down, it's basically the biotic grenade went through instantly from KongDoo Panthera, the charge went through to eliminate the enemy Reinhardt shield, and then you have hook up to get a pick, right?
Yep.
So that was like solo queue big time mistake right there from Cox. You don't go for that hook. The mind games in that choke point on when you're defending are far more important than that lucky hook you might get.
Yep. And now Runaway is going to go into the commercial break, feeling a little bit down. They're down 0-2, in fact, to KongDoo Panthera. A chance to bring it back. Again, you know, with so much talent on this team, if they can just pull it back together a little bit, we still could be in for a close match. But right now, it's all KongDoo Panthera. Let's look at that play of the game again. Hey!
You were right.
I'm good at predicting these, aren't I? Fissure. I'm sure this is going to be one of their early pushes here. Yeah, I got the nano boost, took out Runner first.
Wow, what aim this guy has.
I know, right? Fissure has good aim.
Such skill.
Wow, he really ran after them. Held down left click. Good job, man. Way to be. Well, after that thrilling play of the game, hold on to your butts as we go into the break. We'll be back with map number 3 right after this. Welcome back to Overwatch Apex Season 2 with Doe and Monte Cristo, and I'm pretty shocked right now, Monty, because I thought this one was going to be really close, and right now, KongDoo Panthera really seem to have the upper hand over Runaway.
Absolutely. Haksal hasn't been able to really open up on Genji yet, and we've seen some pretty fundamental mistakes. I mean, going back to Numani, which was Runaway's selection, just at a very basic level, you don't throw that hook on defense.
No.
You don't do it, but you also have to credit the instant response from KongDoo Panthera to realize that was their opportunity to really open up that point was pretty wonderful to see. And both of the KongDoo teams tonight have done an exceptional job of taking advantage of positioning and being incredibly quick to react as a team as situations unfold.
That's right. Looks like Hanamura is going to be the pick for Runaway for what could be the last map in this best of 5 already. I'd be a bit shocked to see it end here, but stranger things have happened in Korean esports, Monty.
Absolutely,
We've seen it all.
We have seen it all.
We really have seen it all at this point.
Wow. We'll see if KongDoo Panthera can win this. If they take this third map, they will be absolutely undefeated so far in this season of Apex.
Yeah, that'd be huge. I mean, going up 6-0 in game score in this format with the group stage all but guarantees some first place in the group.
Yes, absolutely. See if Runaway can fight back. They need a reverse sweep here. Keep things alive.
That's right. Time to go to Hanamura and see if Runaway can get any life back in its best of 5, or if KongDoo Panthera completes a 3-0. Let's get in the game and find out. And welcome to Hanamura. That building's so tall, I can see my house from the top of it.
In Korea, right? You can see from Japan to Korea.
Japan and Korea aren't that far apart.
Nope.
What if I have really good eyesight?
You don't.
I guess I am wearing glasses, aren't I? Although in Korea, fake glasses are really popular. They could be fake.
So, are you going to admit to having bad eyesight or to wearing fake glasses, Doa?
Neither. I'm just going to leave it be a mystery. Although I will say that if I ever did get like LASIK surgery and all that, I'd probably just get like a bunch of crazy glasses, like frames to wear here and there. See, I said flames. I have been studying Korean way too much lately. Flames. Brass's flames. Yep.
So that's what you're going to do if you get LASIK? You promise me you're going to go full Korean and wear
I promise
lensless frames.
I will get like the 8-bit frames. I'll get like the big horn rims, 1950s ones. Here's the issue is that I'm way too afraid to ever get LASIK to make this happen. I am terrified of that. I'm not scared of many things, Monte Cristo, but LASIK is definitely one of them. Well, KongDoo Panthera on the defense, Runaway on the offense, and what could be the last map of the match. They must win this one to keep this best 5 going.
And once again, KongDoo is going for a single support defense. They have been doing this a lot recently. Bling has been mixing it up as to which heroes he's on. He's been on Mei. He was, been on Torbjorn, and now he's going to be on Soldier. So very interesting that their primary Lucio player is the one who is making all these changes.
Well, we talked about the versatility that Runaway had coming into this, and it's been all KongDoo Panthera so far. Here's the push now. Runaway split up by the ice wall. Runner in a bit of trouble. Evermore takes him down. Rascal on the outside. Yep, going after Shine, and that is a problem for the Ana. Oh, spike to the head. Do you need to pound it in with your fist? Jeez, May is sadistic.
Yeah, nothing like a frozen grandma,
No kidding. Well, you put a spike in her head, then you push it in with your fist.
Until you make sure it gets into the brain, Noah.
That's right. And then she takes out Stitch, so really taking it to the senior citizen. Oh, the humanity!
It's a very graphic game so far.
No kidding.
Yeah, KongDoo is really the only team that on these assault and hybrid maps has been committing to a lot of, well, almost exclusively point A single support defenses, but they've done it on, they did it, of course, last time on Numbani. They did it in their previous matchup when they played, and now they're doing it here on Hanamura. So interesting.
I mean, you do have a certain amount of self-healing as well with the Roadhog, with the Soldier 76, who can, you know, heal people up too. You know, when the fight's over, you can have people group around there. Uh-oh, nice wall! Oh, Rascal saving Waka Waka. I am so impressed. But here comes Runaway. Graviton Surge immediately, though. And there is a nano-boosted Reinhardt in the middle of everyone. Oh, they do manage to get a few people out of the Blizzard, but not in time. Dominating fight once again as Kaiser finds himself all alone.
And you can tell how well KongDoo is evaluating how many ults they have to use right there, right? So they initiate when Runaway walks through the doorway, of course, with that Graviton Surge, but then they follow it up with the Nano Boost onto Fisher. But once they see, again,
wow, saved. Like, I think Waka Waka's just there to tempt the hooks out now at this point. All right, they're going to try to keep him out with a whole hog, I guess. That's going to work. Get that Ice Wall cooldown back up again.
Yeah, Hoxall still working his way up to Graviton, shooting a Van right in his face.
Yep, that does not help.
We split up again.
And making it look easy so far. Luffy with a kill, Rascal with another one. Whoa, he's flying! Fissure takes the air may try. I'm not even sure what threw him in the air there, but comes back down safely. He's got springs in those shoes. Or maybe pillows, I don't know.
Fisher did actually waste his Earth Shatter in that hut on the right-hand side. Stitch actually going to change up to the Widowmaker right now. And you know, we criticized them for this before, but they actually do have a long-range option with the Soldier 76 this time, so it's not as easy to run that far up.
That's right, Graviton Surge for Runaway this time. Waka Waka gets the Nano Boost. Can he survive? No, not quite. Stitch getting the kills. Waka Waka taking him down. Bling trying to defend from the point. Waka Waka ended up getting 3 in the end there. Bling has the Tac Visor. There's the heal. And now Runaway trying to advance into the Tac Visor, but Kaiser's got the shield. He's going to be okay here. Kaiser does go down. Wow, Luffy took him out from the side. And then Stitch couldn't get the kill. Goodbye, Soldier. Cox jumps in. He's got the whole hog. And it looks like they may weirdly be able to take this point now. Luffy wins a 1v1 against Runner.
I don't know. Luffy is killing everybody. They actually are going to have a 6v5 fight here in favor of KongDoo on the point.
This is bizarre. Going to Panthera, coming back in again. That's a sleep dart onto Fissure. Meanwhile, Kaiser takes a nap, and that's going to be a full hold for KongDoo Panthera again.
Bling and Luffy pulling out the hero plays right there. Luffy repositioned on the high ground behind the advancing Reinhardt and Roadhog. Took out the Reinhardt during that Tac Visor, and once it went down, the Tac Visor picks up another kill.
Yeah.
Not only that, but he picks up the Lucio up top afterwards to get a man advantage on the defense on the point. Really huge play there from Luffy staying alive and picking up those last kills.
Well, as much as I like Runaway, and as entertaining as they've been so far this season, I gotta say, this is not gonna be a performance they want to remember. This is probably going to be a 3-0. All KongDoo Panthera has to do is take this first point.
Yeah, looking for that flawless KongDoo's day, I guess.
I guess so, yeah.
KongDoo incapable of losing matches tonight.
Not on Kong Tuesday.
Yeah, not on Kong Tuesday.
Well, looks like they're going to go for a bit of a dive. And, you know, again, this is what I would have expected from Runaway, is a diving type comp. You know, to a certain extent, I feel like Runaway kind of out-mind games themselves. You know, they're like, well, people know we're going to dive them, so let's not dive. But they don't seem to be as good at playing that style. So
I think Hoxall's just really weird. I think they're in Runaway's head right now. I think
absolutely.
With the play we've seen from Evermore, of course, knowing him as a top-tier Roadhog, and
no, you need that. It keeps you alive, Cox.
Hoxall's a very young player, you know. It takes time, years to develop a lot of mental fortitude to be able to play in these games.
And Cox is like, I'm killing this cockroach especially in the roof there.
So Runaway going to be running here with 2 supports, so not going to mirror that composition that we saw last time.
Yep. All right, Luffy on the Zenyatta now.
Waka Waka stick on the Widowmaker?
Yep.
Question. And the answer is yes.
Cool. All right, here we go. Waka Waka looking for the picks.
Big time pick composition.
Oh! Hoxall did not see that coming. I'm in trouble.
He's like,
oh, man.
That's when you just sit there. You're like, they have a Widowmaker, guys.
I think they have a Widowmaker. Luffy gets 2 as well, getting the bloodthirsty support action in there. And
that's it.
Yep, pack it in, guys. I think we're going to have to call this one a day. Goodbye, Cox. And that's that. Oxall coming in to try to defend the point, but he's not going to last too long. Just trying to hold off as much as he can to give them a chance to get back, but nope. Drop to his doom, and just like that, in about, that was 40 seconds, I believe?
Jeez.
KongDoo Panthera wins their offense round and wins this best of 5 in 3 short games. I'm a little bit disappointed, Monty Chris, so I'm happy for KongDoo Panthera. They played great, but I'm kind of bummed out this one wasn't as close as we thought it was going to be.
You do have to question why Huxall was up there. Now, if we talk about what May's job is on point A of Hanamura, it's to stand at the side to get walls on the door to wall people off.
Yeah.
And he used wall to get up onto the high ground. And you really, why be up there?
That's not how you play May on that. What are you going to accomplish, really?
I mean, you hope to hit a few icicles as they come in, right? Maybe work down the Reinhardt shield, but
like you said, you need the wall with the choke. That's what May is for walling the choke. If you're not walling the choke,
he sort of did get what he deserved.
I think so too. Yeah.
It's harsh to say it that way, but that was not the position that May should be in.
Well, it was a short night tonight, wasn't it, Monte Cristo? 2 3-0s and
damn,
Kong Tuesday, rousing success for KongDoo.
Showing really why this organization has developed 2 incredibly elite Overwatch teams already. Yeah. It's been very impressive to watch them, and especially the roster moves that they've made. You have to give them a lot of credit because even though they had Uncia, who made the semifinals and barely lost against MB last season, it looks like Uncia is even better now with Butcher on the team and the change they made.
To me right now, as far as Korean teams go, it's KongDoo Uncia, KongDoo Panthera, Lunatic High.
Yeah, hard to argue.
Top 3 teams in the
I don't think anybody's going to contest you on that one, though.
Yep.
I think you're absolutely right.
By a surprisingly large margin, too, it looks like.
Really impressive stuff.
Yeah.
And you could tell that this